Hello everyone, I would like to welcome you to Social Work 206. What I'm going to be doing in this video presentation is basically going over what's in Blackboard in regards to the course. As you can see, I'm in the Getting Started page, and as I told you in the video for the syllabus, that everything that you should be reading on the Getting Started page could be beneficial to you actually being successful in completing this course. You'll see up top where it says instructors information. I am Dr. Ronald Dickerson, and I provided you with an office number, also with my cell. I recommend that you call me on my cell, which is area code 843-345-2224. To get a hold of me, just leave a message and I will return your call. This would ensure that I really get an understanding of what you're asking of me so that I can give you accurate information. My email address is rdickerson@limestone.edu, so you can reach me there. Also, as we move further down, I basically give you a welcome, and I listed a number of things that you need to do. Read the syllabus, click on course calendar, which you won't find any dates there because I'm going to cover the dates in this video that would be beneficial to you. Also, you see that you definitely have to read the textbook to ensure the tests that you understand the test material. So I give you a list of assignments there under the welcome letter. So basically, make sure that you read that. So we're still on the Getting Started page. As I told you in the video about this in regards to the syllabus, I talked about discussions. And this is an example of what your discussion should actually look like. Or you can have some reference at the end of what you actually inputted. So you can see the initial discussion post here is based on, according to NASW Code of Ethics, 1996. And then this person talked about section 1.09. So she's giving me her opinion. She's giving me an example of social workers should not engage in sexual relationships with clients. So our former clients. So basically what this person actually did is cite her response. She gave me a citing or a posting that was supported by a reference. As you look at the responses that will be given to your peers, here again you can see that it was also cited under the NASW Code of Ethics. So this person also referenced where she is supporting her response, not only to her posting, but also to her peers. I recommend that you take a good look at that to ensure that you are basically setting your posting. I will try to also give you some other examples of what your post should look like when I see your first initial post. As we move further down on the Getting Started page, you'll see that I also provide you with discussion rubrics. I recommend that you print that out because that's what I'm going to be looking for. Did you respond to two of your peers? Was your peer response supported? Was your post reported? Did it provide detailed information of something from the text or a peer review article? As we move on further down on the Getting Started page, I also provided you with a sample of it's a research paper or APA paper in regarding to your assignment requirements. So I recommend that you print this out, look at it, see how it's formatted, and tailor your paper to that format. Also, I provided you with some handouts for APA. You have library instructions, library resource link. I gave you a template for the APA paper. I also provided you with some writing examples, APA tips for social work students. I also provided you with information about Safe Assign, in which when you submit your paper will be subject to be reviewed to ensure that you did not plagiarize. So I recommend that you support all your responses with an article. A lot of times students go to Google to look up articles, and what they provide me with is a link. And sometimes it's not peer reviewed. Sometimes it's just a web page. So I want you to really be detailed. If you're really pulling information from your textbook, you shouldn't have a problem. So you also have another template there that would aid you in setting up your paper for APA format. So you'll see that that's there. As you move further down, all students are required to take a pre-test that's equivalent to 10 questions in regards to the course. The pre-test is just a baseline that, allows you to answer some questions based on what you believe or think. And then at the end of the course, you will be doing a post-test, and it'll be those same questions. Okay, I recommend that you also click on this link that talks about a new way to take exam under proctoral guides for students. I recommend that you actually review that. You also have a link with your online policies. I also showed that in your syllabus. This is the contact information for the course coordinator. That's his information. Just be mindful that this particular course is set up based on his format. And what I'm doing is using his format to ensure that I detail the course to his requirements. And then you have a faculty course coordinator guide that just explains a little information about the faculty. So be mindful, this is the getting started page. I recommend that you go over this page, read everything completely so you can have an understanding of what's required of you. I also did a video on the video, so I'm going to click on the syllabus. So you had a video on the syllabus, so you can print that out or you can watch the video. I covered the syllabus in detail in regards to what's expected of you. And with course requirements. So as we move further down, I'm going to drop down to the next part where it says course requirement. Where it says APA paper, this is where you'll be submitting your final paper. So you see I have it right there, your research paper that you're going to be submitting. I also have the rubrics in which your paper is going to be graded upon. So you want to make sure that you actually print this rubric out, tailor your paper to the rubrics, make sure that you check grammar and spelling. The structure, as long as it's followed by the information that was provided under the methodology section of your syllabus. So I'm going to look at you writing under those headings and not just throwing information throughout the paper. So I'm going to look for some form of organization. I'm going to look for your understanding of APA and how to properly cite in accordance to APA. I recommend that you write your paper early enough in which you will submit it to the library. They won't write it for you. They won't tell you what you should write. They will identify some APA errors that you may have in your paper. I'm going to be looking for your knowledge of the subject or the knowledge of the research that you provided in your paper. So here again, the paper requires that you basically do a 5 to 7 page. It says the body should be 3 to 5 pages. In other words, when you look at APA format and you're looking at the template, you'll find that you have a cover page and a reference page and an abstract page. Those are not counted in what's required of you. Those are part of the APA format. So just make sure you have 5 to 7 pages. That's not included with the cover page, abstract page, and reference page. Those things are required with APA format. So just be mindful of that. So you're looking for 3 to 5 pages of strong body structured length information. So you'll see here that the length, you should use at least 3 academic references, okay? In other words, books, newspaper, journals, magazines, articles, etc. So that'll give you a foundation on where you should be looking for information. I always tell students definitely look at your textbook, especially when you're writing about certain information, because the textbook is already supported. So, what should your paper contain? It should contain an introduction. It should also talk about who and how, and so students will introduce the population, impact it, and describe how they are affected. So you're going to include a history uh, of how this has been handled in the past. You're going to also provide me with a conclusion that responds to some questions. So that's what I'm going to be looking for when I actually grade your paper. As we moved on to discussions, I told you earlier in the previous video that you had 7 discussions. So you have 1 discussion for each week. The first week you have 2, just you introducing yourself to your peers, introducing yourself to me. And then you're going to also have your discussion 1. So you have 7 discussions that you have to respond. As I told you in the video earlier, that your initials response should be done no later than Thursday at 11:59, and you should be responding to 2 of your peers no later than Sunday at 11:59. So it's your initial response on Thursday and responding to 2 of your peers on Sunday. Okay, as we move down to tests and quizzes section, you'll see where you have information about your pre-test. In other words, you have the first 2 weeks to do that. I recommend that you do that because you are attending an accredited program, which requires us to provide certain information that support your learning experience. So you have a pre and post test, which is measured. As soon as you submit that, I will have your name, and I will check your name off the roster as actually having completed this. Failure to do this will get an email from me that's saying that you need to do so. This will close. Well, I tell you what, I will leave this open throughout the course. You just need to make sure that you do a pre and post test. 10 questions, same test, 10 questions you get on the pre-test, you will also have on the post test. So if you receive a 7 or 8 on the pre-test and you receive a 4 on the post test, then there's something wrong there. In other words, you knew more at the beginning and learned less throughout the course. So just make sure that you have an understanding of the pre-test so that when you get ready to do the post-test, you will have a accurate response. So as I told you earlier, your midterm quiz is going to be from chapters 1 through 9. So during the first week, you'll see that you have quizzes that you're going to take for chapters 1 through 5. As I told you earlier, you have 3 attempts to complete this. The quiz is 90 minutes long, and it will open up from the 4th of March, and it will close the day before you're scheduled to do your midterm exam. So here again, you have quiz 6 through 8 that you have to complete. That's opening up on the 4th to you, so you can do it all on the 4th. And you have 3 opportunities to do it until the day before your final exam. You have the same thing for your midterm exam. So just be mindful that you have to do a midterm exam after you complete it. So quizzes 1 through 9 will close the day before you're scheduled to do your final exam. After your midterm exam, I'm sorry. And after you complete your midterm exam, you have quizzes that will open up on the 26th, which is the day after your final exam, that you will have to complete for the final exam. So therefore, you have quizzes 10 through 12, 13 through 15, 16 through 17, and you have quiz 18. So those are going to be the quizzes that you're going to have. And these quizzes will be available to you on April 22nd. And it will close just before you're scheduled to do your final. You'll see that I have that in 60 minutes, but your quiz will be 60 minutes, but your quizzes that you take on the chapters will be 90 minutes. So as we move on down in Blackboard, you'll see that the units under course outline. So under each unit, it's going to give you what's required of you under each week. So you can see under Unit 1, you have to review syllabus and assignments. You have your library resources that you have to look at in Blackboard, read chapters 1 and 2, complete the discussion, and take the pre-test. Okay, and this is mainly for social work only, So just make sure that you complete that. Here again, you have your introduction section that you're going to post. You have your discussion section that you're going to be posting in the discussion. So the introduction and unit discussion 1, you will move up to the discussion section and input those information there. You have your PowerPoints for chapters 1 and 2. Under unit 2, you'll find everything that you need to do under Unit 2. So in Unit 2, you're going to read chapters 3, 4, and 5. You're going to take the quiz for chapters 1 through 5. You have a discussion board that you're going to respond to in the discussion section. And then you're going to complete what I have as an APA topic assignment. In other words, what are you going to be writing on for your APA paper? So what is it that it's going to be consist of? So if you're writing on same-sex marriages, then you would just give me a response with a brief paragraph of same-sex marriage, and then reference that with something from the textbook or what have you. Then you have Unit 2 discussion you're going to complete in the discussion section here. Then you have your paper topic you're going to respond to, and then you have your PowerPoints for each one of the chapters. Unit 3 is going to be similar to fraction. In other words, it's going to give you everything that you need to do. So when you go to the units, I would click on that first, look at what's required of you, and then respond to the appropriate response thereof. So as we move further down through the units, you'll find the same formats there. So I recommend that you spend a lot of time reading what's in the Getting Started page, to include covering everything in the discussion section, tests and quizzes, and follow your units under your course outline. I'm going to go ahead and end this video because I've given you most of the information that you have that you need to actually be successful in completing this course. Again, time management with an online course is very much required. In other words, to ensure that you have actually submitted all your work. As I mentioned in the Getting Started page, I will not accept any assignment that will be emailed to me in Blackboard because you failed to submit it in a timely manner. So if you're emailing me your assignment, just know that you will not receive credit for it without putting it in Blackboard. All assignments have to be supported in Blackboard so that it'll show that we are following CSWE standards. So just know that if you submit a late assignment to me, I will not accept it and I will not give you a grade for it unless there was some circumstances that might have prevented you from completing your assignment on time. Therefore, I'm not giving you an excuse. I will evaluate that based on what you tell me. So if you email me about something, I will call you to verify that this is actually so. And I may ask you to support it with something to let me know that that is so. I am not trying to be difficult. It's just that the social work program is an accredited program and it's accredited for a reason. And the benefits that you're going to get out of this when you complete this social work program is basically require you with the tools needed to actually sit for the exam. So in other words, social work students completing this course will have an opportunity to actually complete their master's in 1 year. So make sure that you're doing that. I know sometimes there are students who are not social work that's taking this course as an elective, but time management skills is also important for you. So just know that. So if there's any problem with any assignments, Blackboard being down or what have you, then just let me know that, and then I can make the appropriate responses as to what have occurred. take term one. There are all kind of problems that were happening in Blackboard that prevented people from submitting their assignments in a timely manner. And so we have took appropriate measures to ensure that students are not penalized for that. So it's not my intent to penalize you should you fail to submit your assignments on time as a result of Blackboard being down or what have you. But it is your responsibility to ensure that you are reading the assignments, that you're posting all your required assignments in a timely manner. Again, I'm available to you. You can reach me at area code 843-345-2224. If you have any questions in regards to Blackboard or the syllabus, I recommend that you write it down and send it to an email to me. I recommend that you read you sign into your course at least 3 times out of the day to ensure that I didn't post something earlier. I will ensure that I try to give you feedback within 48 hours of your email to me. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video. After you review it, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to contact me. Thank you.